Songtrix gives you remarkable insight and control over the harmonic structure of a song, with the chords and scales tracks working closely together. This video shows the scales track is a powerful tool for music development. Our first trick is to show how the scales track can reharmonize songs. We demonstrate this with a very familiar passage from Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It's made entirely from real events with no style or repeat segments. To reharmonize this song, we need to add the scales track and then switch to the Links tab to adjust the options. Here we see all of the links between the tracks in the song. If we activate the reharmonize options here, we have now fully linked the tracks together. So every time we select a new chord, it will auto-select a new matching scale, which in turn will reharmonize the melody, riff and bass tracks. The rhythm track, of course, is directly based on the new chords, as usual. Let's see this in action. Here is the scales track with the auto-selected scales. The scale tones are shown here, and they will carry the events with them when they change as the new scales are selected. We are going to adjust this passage from being based on major to minor harmony, and we can do it simply by changing each chord from the major to the equivalent minor. And in each case, the scale becomes the Dorian on the same root note. A simple procedure, but it has a profound effect. Listen to the passage now and see if you still recognize it. Adjusting major to minor is very effective, but reharmonizing works with any chord replacement. Imagine the new pieces of music that might be hidden within other familiar tunes. Our second trick is to show the chords and scales tracks working together in another way. Up until now, the chords track has been the boss, causing the selection of new key center scales with every change. But many songs are based on the harmony of a single scale, and Songtrix can use this to help you find chords for the song. Our sample passage here starts with just a melody, scales, chords, and rhythm tracks. The melody is already provided. Let's hear it first. You may recognize it as Pachelbel's canon. Our task is to work out what scale this piece is in and provide chords for it. The first part is easy. We can select the entire melody track and use the Notes to Scales tool to find which scales contain these notes. The notes of the melody are pre-selected here, and immediately we have a result. The C major scale contains all of these notes and is showing at the top of the list. The other scales are just the related modes of C major. C major is already selected, so we can copy it, return to the workspace and paste it into the scales track at the first bar. Then we can turn the following bars into repeat segments to extend its effect across the whole track. Now we need to adjust the song setup, otherwise the scale will be replaced the moment we select a chord. From the Links page, we remove the Auto Select, hide the chord relations, but show the scale relations. This basically turns the tables and puts our new scale in charge. Now when we go to find chords, we can immediately see which ones are related to the scale and concentrate on those. In fact, if we select a chord that is not related, we will see a warning line here and red tones here, indicating that the chord and scale are not compatible with each other in this area, until we correct it. Now, to check our choice of chords and see how it sounds, we'll select the whole rhythm track and use Paste Style to fill it with events. And play it through. Our third and final trick is to explore a hidden talent of the melody, bass and riff tracks. Mostly these are configured as a single long segment that covers the whole track, but they can be split and made into repeat segments just like the drums and rhythm tracks. Here we select the whole of the first bar and split so that both the riff and bass tracks start with a separate 1-bar segment. Now we can design a pattern to go in them. The bass first. We are trying to come up with something that suits C major, so I will stick to the 1st and 5th of the scale. In other words, C and G. If you're not sure why that is, it's all explained in the How Music Works tutorials. Next we add a 1-bar riff to play chords based on the tones of C major, which are C, E and G. We enter them on beat 2 and hold the control key to clone them across to beat 4. Now let's play this bar so we can hear both tracks together. To propagate these patterns across the rest of the song, all we have to do is convert the remainder of the riff and bass tracks into repeat segments, and then they work exactly the same as drum and rhythm segments would. But of course we don't want to hang on one chord for the whole song, so let's add some chord changes. If we play this, the repeat segments are still unaffected. They are faithfully repeating the original patterns in bar 1. However, we can use track setup to change this with the repeat mode option. Instead of repeating the original pattern, we can ask it to reharmonize to suit the new chords in the repeated area. And we do the same again for the bass track. Now we get a very different result. The original patterns are repeated but also reharmonized throughout the song. The repeat events are updated every time a chord is altered. And adding a scales track to the song would also give you more control over the reharmonization. In this way, melody tracks can be almost as flexible as rhythm tracks as you develop the harmony of a song.